Hello artists, this video is going to go over one of our main project grades. This is something that everyone is going to need to do whether you are new to the class, you've been quarantined, or you haven't been here at school. You do have to do this activity. It is counted as one major test grade. This is called pre-assessment still life drawing. A pre-assessment is a way for your art instructor, which is me, to check for your understanding of visual arts. It's a sample of your artistic ability, as well as a way for me to test your knowledge of skills like the elements of art and principles of design. What will you be drawing? You will be drawing the still life located at your table. Now, if you're watching this video and you didn't do this activity and you're quarantined, you will need to set up your own still life at home. What is a still life? A still life is a work of art depicting mostly inanimate subject matter, commonly objects that are either natural or man-made. For example, these are still lifes that we see on the page. Usually, still lifes are objects that don't move. Like, for example, we see the wine bottle with the lemons, we see the tablecloth along with the fruit in the bowl, as well as other items that we see on the page. So these are examples of still life. Remember, now, these are original instructions. I will give you more than one day if you need it. The still life does need to remain in the middle of the table if you are here at school. Everybody needs to have a clear view, meaning whether if you have something in front of it, please move it out of the way so everybody can see what they're drawing. The still life must remain untouched. You don't want to move it because somebody might be drawing that object on the table. Here's what you will also need to do. You're going to draw the items you have on the table, and you're going to need to create a background with a theme. In visual arts, a theme is a broad idea or message conveyed by a work of art. Here are your directions. Number 1, you will create a still life with a background. The still life should include the items like the tennis balls, the book, and the cup. These are our forms: sphere, rectangular prism, and cylinder. If you are making up work at home, you will need to set up your space with either a cup, book, and a round object like an orange, apple, or a ball. Number 3, students will use the knowledge gained from element of art, value. Value is defined as the lightness or darkness of a color or hue. Number 4, students should show a highlight, midtone, and shadow value. Value can also be shown with shading, stippling, hatching, or cross-hatching. Number 5, students will need to add a background of their choosing. Example, what items can you draw to make your artwork more visually interesting? Finally, the items that you will be using are drawing pencils, erasers, and rulers. Here are the examples of value. So highlight is the area of the artwork that is the lightest. That is usually nearest to the light source. The next value that we were focusing on is the midtone. So those are going to be like the grays, the in-between values of your artwork. They are not the shadow, but they're closer to the highlight. And finally, we have shadow or shade. So when you are drawing, the actual darkness on the object is called the core shadow, and anything below it or touching the ground or the surface is called the drop shadow. So I want you to think about like when you're outside in the sun and you have a shadow behind you, it's usually drop down behind you. If you did this activity, the value scale, then you should know how to use value. If you have never done this activity before, please take a look at what you have here, and this will help you create those dark tones, those mid-tones, as well as those highlights. You can use other things like cross-hatching, which are vertical lines or diagonal lines going in opposite directions. The closer together, the darker it appears. The further apart, the lighter it appears. And then we also have stippling. Now, this one takes a little bit longer because you're doing a lot of little dots on the page. Here are some tips. Draw to the best of your ability. Also, you're not going to copy what you see on the computer screen. You're drawing what you see in front of you. Don't rush. If you need more time, let me know. And drawing takes practice and patience, so be kind to yourself and have fun. Here are some examples of what a finished artwork looks like. As you see, these are from 2 different students. One of them is an intermediate art student, another student is in Art 1 high school. But both students are thinking about the objects on the table. They have also started to add shading, midtones, and kept some areas of the artwork light for the highlight. They also went back and added some details in the background. Now you can draw what you see in the art room, or you can create your own background. This is how you will be graded. You will be graded by the following categories in blue: following project directions, your use of value, behavior in class, and your effort put into the project. Then I grade you by excellent, good, satisfactory, or needs improvement. If you have any questions, please let me know. When you are done, if you're an in-person student, you will need to turn it into me. If you are at home, you will need to go into the Schoology assignment and upload the picture.